Welcome. Week 5 is in the books. We have an exciting update for you guys here with the slew of videos coming out with the state of the franchise. Yes, special guest Grant coming in. We're going to be talking about your franchise and your future. Let's go. Okay.
So we're going to move on to White Man Can't Jump, which is your team, Joe. And you're standing at 6-2, which is a fantastic record. You're only one game out of first place in your division. And you're only a few points behind on points for per game. And you've given up, your defense has played better because you're giving up less points per game than Remember the Titans. You're very good there in the power ranking and your roster. Let's take a look at your roster here. What can you say? You got the best quarterback in the league. You got Josh Allen slinging the rock for you there. There's none playing better than he is right now. And your bye week, you got Carson Wentz. He's been more than adequate. No one's been down on Carson Wentz. I read where Ron Rivera is not sorry or sad that he has him on his team whatsoever, and I don't blame him because, like I said, he's been playing well.
I think so. I mean, almost 100 points is not bad.
All right, it's very good, very good. And the guy's he hasn't even drawn a snap for you. He's not even going to need to until week 7.
Yeah.
So week 7. Who's that? See here. Who is Mr. Wentz playing week 7? Oh, dude, you're playing the Packers. He's going to be passing the ball because the Packers' defense is tough, so they'll probably stop that run, and it's going to force Mr. Wentz to be throwing the rock. So I expect big numbers that week. Now, running backs, you have a little bit of a quandary this week at running backs for bye weeks. You've got good running backs, but gee whiz, your best one, the King Derrick Henry, is off this week.
Yep.
So you're going to have to fill it in with Aaron Jones and friends. I did hear that Damian Harris is a little banged up and may or may not play this week. So unless you, my friend, make some trades or make a pickup of some sort, you'll be stuck with Mr. Benjamin along with Mr. Jones.
Yep. I am going to run with Mr. Benjamin this week. And
okay.
I mean, he's been scoring an average about 8 points a game. And the other guys are injured, so he is kind of the only healthy guy there.
They're playing the Seahawks this week, so I would think that was going to be a good game. And James Conner has not been 100% this year either, so you never know. Benjamin might get the call a lot, and if they get ahead of the Seattle, they're going to be running the ball.
Yeah,
so that's going to be good for him. And he also is a very good pass receiver. And Kyler Murray does like to dish off that ball to him. So that could be a very good setup. Very good setup. Moving on to your wide receivers. See, you got, I believe, you just acquired Mr. Godwin, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That was a great, great trade. Happy for you there. Because Julio, yes, you have him as well, has been banged up, and Tom Brady can't help but be good with the guys he's got to throw the ball to down there. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
A lot of good targets. So I do like the fact that you got Godwin. You need him this week. Myers is doing well there in New England. You are going to be missing Josh Reynolds this week, but you got your boy there, I can't even say his name, from Buffalo, Khalil.
Yes.
He got a couple of decent games, so.
Yeah, I just picked him up. I'm having to do a lot of different things this week with the wide receiver, but
Noah Brown too. He's been doing very well. So I think I don't know who you're planning on starting. Zay Jones, he's done all right too, which is surprising, because he's ever since that time they caught him out on the street naked years ago. I thought, what's going on with this guy? He's crazy. but he had that big week against the Chargers in week 3. So and a decent week is week 1 against the Commanders. So he might be your go-to guy.
Yep, he's seeing targets. That's what I'm looking for. Is at least give him the opportunity. 9, 4, 11, and 8 in the games that he's played. So at least over almost over 8, 3 out of the 4 games he's played. So they're throwing in the ball. It's just whether or not he catches or gets opportunities are the question.
Moving on to your tight ends, this is where I see you're hurting for certain because Mr. Knox has been out and questionable as of late, and Tynan just has not come back to be the guy he was once before that knee injury.
I think they're easing him in too, because when I looked at Tunyon and his weeks or snaps, someone, I forgot what website it was, or not website, what video I was watching, but they were talking about, just like looking at your snaps, like offensive snaps, how long you've been in and stuff like that, and they've been progressing every week. So he's been getting more snaps, so they're easing him in.
Well, last week, week five, he got 4 targets and made 4 receptions, so he made all that he could make out of it.
Yeah.
Only got 20 yards, but the week prior to that, he only had 2 receptions, but again, he caught them all, and he had a touchdown. So he just, Aaron Rodgers just, I think the Packers' whole offense is what is messing up with that. I think the running game's stout, and Rodgers, we know he can pass. He just doesn't have the reliable targets that he once had,
Yeah.
Kickers, what can we say? You got Mr. Sanders, not the Colonel, but Jason down there in Miami kicking the ball, and I'd say he's probably doing okay for you there. What do you think?
I mean, I could probably improve, but that's just I'll pick up a guy or something if I need to. The roster spots are needed.
All right. Now, here's where we turn the curve for your team. We go to the defensive side of the ball, and you just are lights out everywhere from top to bottom. You've got the best DT in football, Darren Donald, and he's put up 124 points. You can't complain about Tuttle at 90 points and Rankins at 85.
No, I picked up one of those guys off the waiver and a waiver and just free agency because the other guy wasn't producing, so I just need to upgrade there.
And that's a great thing you brought up because in this league, a lot of guys just play that defensive Russian roulette. And so fine, you drop a guy, you pick up a guy, but then the guy you drop goes off. So then it enables, like what you just said, you were able to pick up a guy or two, which I see that was what you did. And it's the other guys unfortunate, they're less fortunate because they gave up these guys. And now you're able to swoop in and get them.
Yep.
So I would say, fellas out there in the league, just hang on to your top defensive players and drop something else. Don't play defense roulette because if you go back and look at our last few championships, what has won it for these teams? Just ask Jerry Maguire. He's won 2 championships on defense. And I think Forrest Gump, he won his last year. I think it was his defense that primarily put him through. So,
yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but.
Yeah, defenses. I mean, they'll have more 100-point games. They'll have more 400-point players, 300-point players. They just score more points.
Looking at your defensive ends, I mean, it's unfortunate for you. Chase Young hasn't played yet. I mean, or he may not. I have no. I know he's on the IR, but I mean, if you had him going too, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you've got 107 points from this Dietrich Wise. I'm sorry, I've never heard of him, but he's got 107 points. That's crazy, And then Rousseau has 93 points. So you got defensive end. You got some good defensive ends, even one that's going to be on the mend.
Yep.
So I like your defensive ends.
And Moffitt too. Boye Moffitt.
Rook guy, yeah. He's good.
I mean, if you look at him, I think he didn't play 2 games. Well, he did play the first game. Oh,
Yeah.
he's done pretty well. So that's 4 games.
You know, I have Hutchinson over in this league, and he's had a couple really big weeks, but he's had weeks where he hasn't even shown up. So, it's kind of that rookie thing, I think.
Consistency.
Once it becomes when he becomes a non-injured T.J. Watt, he'll be in there every playoff time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know for your Robert Quinn, he's transitioning over to who's he playing for now?
The Bears.
He was a Bear now, but he was who was he, Ram or something like that. So he's just getting used to playing with this setup this year. So that matters too, right?
Yeah, I would think about dropping him, but it's just better if I need a roster spot. But $3 million is not too much in this league.
No. And then if the Beanie's 3.1, you pay the penalty of cutting him.
So.
Yeah. Well, your linebackers, here we go. I mean, you've got T.J. Watt. He's probably the best linebacker in football, but he's been hurt since game 1. But your boy out of Jacksonville, the guy who was with Atlanta last year, I can't pronounce his name. He's got 93 points. He's doing excellent. T.J. Edwards is doing really well. And you got the kid Alex Elzone from Detroit. He picked up off the waiver wire. Someone didn't even pay any attention to him. So you've got a solid stack of linebackers there.
Yep, Campbell's kind of underproduced, but a few games here and there. But for now, I mean, he's just riding the pine.
Right, and he's not been in the league. Well, I guess he has been 7 years. I didn't realize he'd been in the league that long.
Yeah.
But he's probably being affected by them drafting that Quay Walker too.
Yeah, from the other side, and So
yeah. And your cornerbacks, you got very good scoring numbers there. When your bottom dude is Asante Samuel, you must be doing all right.
Well, I picked them all off waiver wire. I mean, I had a few cheaper guys, but like these guys were just out producing what I had. So obviously, if I want to keep these guys next year, I'm going to pay the price. But I don't know. I mean, a few of them could be worth their weight. But it just really depends. But really, look at.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Like look at this Takir Woodland, right? When I click on him, I mean, he's got an interception in the last 3 games, a pass defect in the last 3 games, and at least 3 or 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. So 3 interceptions in 3 games. That guy's ball hawking.
Joe, your top 2 are both rookies.
Wow. Yeah.
That's and they're not named. What's the kid out of the Jets?
The Sauce.
Yeah.
They got the Buffalo Wild Wings sauce on it.
Right on.
So
and then your safety, you got great safeties too. You got Derwin James, one of the best safeties in the NFL.
Yep.
You got him, and then you got a couple other guys you picked up off the free agent wire who are producing for you. So you've been doing your homework, or watching the games and paying attention, and that's what it's all about.
Jordan Poyer.
Yeah. You're 6-2, and you're 6-2 because you made wise decisions and who you've been cutting and picking up. And that's really what you got to do in fantasy football throughout the season. It's not like a real NFL team where they stick with what they got pretty much. But, you're going to, because they got 52 guys to pick from, right? Plus a practice squad. But,
I'm really happy about this Hufanga guy. Okay. He's been all over the field.
Yes. Looks like a little Troy Polamalu.
Yep. And like he had a pick 6 the other day.
He
did. Didn't get a lot of points for that. But he's looking pretty good. And I didn't realize that he was his college conference defensive player of the year. So he's played in at a high level.
Well, he's a 5th round pick out of USC, and he's been in the league for 2 years. So of course no one's heard of him.
Yep.
But he's come on this year, You know.
Yeah, if you watch the tape, if you watch him play, man, he has been a playmaker for them in real life, and that translates to points here. So,
I mean, week 1 versus the Bears, he had 9 tackles, 9, and an interception. So,
did Rob Gronkowski officially retire?
I believe he did.
Because I got $23 million in roster spots of money, dead money.
You do.
But a few of those are under like millions of dollars, 3 million.
Well, you don't get any relief because Gronkowski retires. You have to do it. You have to hang on to him until he retires.
What?
Cut a guy, and then he retires. You're still penalized.
Oh, changing the rules at the last minute. It's okay.
No, that hasn't been changed. But
I'm just pulling your strings. All right. So we're gonna go to my draft picks here, Grant. I'm gonna tell you what I got. Okay, I got a Scorpions first round draft pick next year, and then I got a third round draft pick next year, and that's it. So I traded all my picks in this league for players.
well, win now. I got you.
Yep.
And honestly, you have a roster. You know, Joe, if playoffs started today, you'd be the wild card. So you're in the playoffs, and that's where you got to get. First step, you just got to get in the dance, right?
Yep.
Everybody takes to the dance. So when you get to the dance, anything can happen.
Yep. All right.
Can happen.